Flex, you tweeted out something just a few minutes ago about Devin Booker and his ankle. Do we need to make a prayer circle?
No.
Should we all join hands?
No, I think we dodged a bullet.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. We dodged a bullet, and it seemed like that might be the case because typically when you got an ankle sprain like that, if you come back in the game, that's the first sign that maybe it's not as severe as you would think. But yeah, I got the update earlier today, and it looks like we dodged a bullet. Devin is probably gonna miss the Denver game on Friday, and then we'll probably go into the Memphis game questionable. I think the adults in the room will get together and say, hey, buddy, it's the Memphis Grizzlies. We should be able to handle this and take a couple more days and get ready for that in-season tournament on Tuesday versus the Lakers. So, yeah, at this moment, right now, I totally expect Devin Booker to be ready on Tuesday versus the Lakers.
I am team adult in the room. Please don't let Devin play on Saturday. It's not worth it. I want to win the in-season tournament, so I would rather have him rested and ready to go for Tuesday.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, too, if he's not ready for Tuesday, also, adults in the room, please don't let him play on Tuesday. Because F the in-season tournament then. I don't care.
And you could still
I'm sorry,
win.
Gerald.
You could still win without Devin on Tuesday if that were the case, and then have him for the Final Four of the championship. So there's a lot to think about. But again, I think we're in a good place. We dodged a bullet, and so let's see what happens.
The overarching news is the test came back clean.
Overarching news is every indication, tests, medicals, evaluations, everything looks good. He seriously dodged a bullet. Just a little tweak on the ankle. And I will say this: if this were a playoff game, if Friday were a playoff game, I think he can play.
Okay,
that's the indication I'm getting. So, yeah, it's just a little tweak. It tightened up yesterday, and that's that. That's probably why he looked so bad. But yeah, didn't look good yesterday. But I think he'll be fine.
I'm with Triple B in the chat. So they said the adult in the room should not have let him play in last night's game, like come back into it. And I agree. At this point, like, you take an L in the regular season if you got to take an L. At least that game still counts for you as far as game played. You could have potentially let it rest a little bit longer or not aggravated it a little bit more and come back in Saturday's game, right? It would have felt a little less worrisome to have him come back in Saturday's game. Like, I just don't understand why. I understand because after the game, he was talking about, like, felt like my gravity out there could be beneficial to our team, which is 100% true. And I get where he's thinking. But at the same time, you missing games is worse for your team than you coming back and playing the back half of one game.
I feel like he was going to miss games no matter what.
No matter what, yeah.
I mean, whether they pulled him or whether he kept playing, I felt like he was gonna miss games no matter what. And listen, EJ and I kind of got into it today when we talked about it on Outside Shots. He was like, it's Devin Booker. He gets to determine whether or not he's going to play or not. And because he was able to, when he twisted his ankle, he was able to stay on his feet. He thought that it wasn't as bad as maybe it was being made out to be. And his gravity meant something. My issue with it was he was outside of his gravity, he really didn't mean much on the court. And I think about halfway through his last stint on the court, the Raptors basically figured out that he was not really a major factor. And so they were sagging off of him a little bit more.
Yeah.
They weren't paying attention to him more, and it caused a little bit more stress on KD and the other guys. And when you had somebody like Jordan Goodwin, who was actually having a good game, I felt like that kind of hurt the team. And that's where I kind of sit on it. But it's Devin Booker. I know he gets a lot of rope. I get that, but that's just kind of how I felt about it.
And I agree somewhat with EJ's point, I think, because we covered this again last night for what feels like the 5th time with Devin Booker. Someone's got to protect him from himself. But also, like, Devin Booker's in year 9 now. He's got to protect himself from himself sometimes. Like, we talk about needing adults in the room. Booker is he's an adult. Like, he's not some kid that's just like out there running around. Like, I understand his competitive fire. I understand that that's where it comes from. He always wants to help the team. Those are all commendable things. But at the same time, you got to have that long-term outlook.
It's hard though, man.
It is in the heat of the moment.
These guys are the best athletes in the world. They're trained to do things. It's hard. Even the most mature people. I mean, Aaron Rodgers probably ain't right after 3 months.
Yeah, no.
But he's coming back. He's already practicing. He's ready to go. He tore his Achilles 3 months ago. So even the most mature athletes find themselves in these spots, and they're going to need somebody to talk them out of it. And so I do agree. Devin's an adult, and it's 9 years. It's a year 9, but it's so tough when they're in that spot.